I'm telling you from the sense of them having literally any sense of independence more times than not. Okay, I don't say more time. Every time they end up fucking terrified. They're just not gonna write that in a news article. They're not gonna tell you that shit. But they're fucking horrified, dude. You're not gonna see it on the news. They're gonna put that on CNN. Hashtag CNN. They're gonna put that on there. They ain't gonna put it on CNBC and all that shit. They're gonna play everything that looks good for you. Because at that point, so it's a win-win. One, they get to look like they interviewed, this stone cold soldier who was ready to die, and then on the other side, it fulfills what dingbat Americans want to see, and what dingbat Americans want to see is, oh, a man who will fight for his country no matter what, and he'll die for his flag and his soil and all that. So it's a win-win for them. You see, and that's another reason why I would tell you, look, when you watch the news, take that shit with a grain of salt, dude. Like don't pay attention, well, I never talked about the news, but that's my theory on it. Like, don't look, the motherfuckers will tell you anything. All right? Period. You play any fighting games? I'm fucking awful at fighting games. I got Injustice on here. I've never been good at 2D games, man. Never. For some reason, like, my brain just doesn't understand. I'm good. I'm better at 3D games, but when I like that 2D like Street Fighter shit. For some reason, man, since I was little, my brain just never. I never got. I don't know if it's. I've never been good at it. I've never been good at it. My cousin is the cousin I told you guys about maybe like 2 weeks ago. He's fucking great at them, man. He's always been here's the thing. All the men in my family, here's the thing. All the men in my family are better than me when it comes to like operating thanks for the donation. I'm gonna get to that in a second, man. Thanks for the donation. When it comes to like chilling in their comfort and all that shit and just operating type of thing like that, like the men, like I am the weakest man in my family. No questions asked. Physically, mental. When it comes to like being in, but here's the thing: where the only area where I excelled was being able to go out in that big, cruel, mean world and not care anywhere near as much. That's where I excelled at. But for any other section, every man in my family, and I'm not exaggerating, every other man in my family can do everything better than me. Right? Everything. And yeah, that's just it. I am the smallest, I'm the physically weakest. I'm definitely not the smartest. I am the inferior man in my family, right? Easily on my mom's and my dad's side, on both sides. I am the weakest man, right? Mentally and physically. But here's the thing: the only area where I excelled was this. When I got out there in that real world, I things are gonna suck in the real world. Like, for example, with me and Patreon right now. For those of you who don't know, my Patreon's got deleted. They deleted my Patreon. Shut it down. No questions asked. Just turn it off. I got the email about 3-4 hours ago. They just turned it off. That was it. That was it for that. Right? Like, and I'm not gonna act like it doesn't. It totally sucks. But here's the thing: when I'm out in that real world alone, I don't take it anywhere near as personal as like the average person will, right? So the average person could have taken that and been like completely beat up about it and just never got back up again type of shit, or it changed their whole mentality and all this shit. Whereas like I like when it came to where I was of legal adult age and went out there in the world and actually started fighting, I didn't care anymore. Because it's like, okay, well, if I fail, I'll just get back up in some other area, so I don't care. And here's the thing, like, I'm so, just speaking on myself for this rant, I'm so, is the proper word, disassociated from the average motherfuckers. Like, I didn't even realize how personal other people take shit. in life. It took me a long time to understand that. I just didn't understand. Like, well, because I talk about it all the time on my channel. I talk about this all the time on my channel with, personally, like, you don't have to tell me thank you. You don't have to tell me thank you. I don't need to be told thank you, you're welcome, you know, all those common, I don't need it. It was on my Patreon video a long time ago. I think I made a video about it. There's no part of me. There was only one time where I truly felt it, right? And I'll be honest with you. The one time where I truly felt where the person said like thank you or please or something like that, and I truly felt it, was after boot camp. And the guy said, please have a seat. And like my heart melted because this motherfucker said when you in boot camp in the Marines, oh, you ain't hearing no please. No thank you, none of that shit. If anything, you get yelled and spit on type of shit, right? So this motherfucker said please. This motherfucker said please. And like my heart, that was the only time I've ever felt anything for anyone who's ever said thank you, please, how's your day? Like, you don't have to ask me how's my day. I just don't have that connection with the world. Let's just say the world. I don't have that connection to like, well, he didn't even ask me how my day. Like, you will never ask me. You will never hear me say, I was in the world and I was mad at the motherfucker, and the motherfucker said and you will never hear me go, well, he didn't even ask me how my day was. Yeah, I just don't even pick up on that shit at all. I just don't pick up on it. It just doesn't happen. So RBT says, can you do the 3 videos I sent under the email marriage? Yeah. I'll cover that shit, man. I'll cover that 18 minutes ago. Mario says, since I ain't paying you on Patreon, here's a donation. By the way, we'll upload all your old content from Patreon wherever you go. But will you upload all your old content? Oh, I don't have any of it, man. It's gone. That shit's gone. And to be honest with you, Mario, that was a personal test for myself. In case something like this would happen. That was a personal test for myself. And I was, because me and my girl, we talked about it earlier today about the whole situation. And she knows everything I tell you. Well, she watches it and she watches these. And if she's not watching now, we talk about this shit, later. And I always live by this. If you can't get up and go do it again, then you didn't deserve it the first time you had it. Right? If you can't get up and go do it again, you don't deserve it. So to keep myself, and these are the mind tricks that I play with my like the mental games I play with myself. I don't do it with other people, but I do it with myself, right? I knew the day was going to come where I figured YouTube would shut me down first, but I explained why my thoughts on why YouTube didn't do it first and why Patreon ended up doing it, and which they actually spelled it out in their email, but that's old news at this point. But regardless, I figured, like, I knew that the way I'm talking on this motherfucker, the way I just am, I'm talking about bitches, cunts, fags, all this shit like that. I'm saying all these words, type of shit. Like, I knew my day was fucking coming, right? I knew it. So it's kind of the same theory as that rapper who gets tattoos all over his face because he never wants to work a normal job. Kind of essentially the same shit. I didn't back it up because I knew when it came time for me to have to decipher who and what I'm really made out of, whatever I did in the past, if I can't do it again, then that was just a lucky one-off, and that's what it should always be regarded as. I am not going to be these little one-hit wonder bands. Actually, well, that's funny I bring that up. Because an old friend of mine was in a one-hit wonder band. And I showed, because that's why I was on Dr. Phil showing my girl. I was talking about this while I was playing Halo. I was showing my girl him on there, and he was in a one-hit wonder band. And it's been 25 years, and he's still living off that shit. Dude, I would feel bad living off some shit I did from years ago, man. That's just me. That's just me, though. And I'm not the officer on the whole thing. I'm not going to act like that either. But my theory is this, man. If I can't walk my motherfucking ass up on that stage or in front of this camera or in that group of people and just start talking and get that shit back. If I can't go do that again, then I didn't belong with it the first time. It was a lucky one-off the first time I had it. I'm trying to move this over without snapping anything out. Did that work? I hope it worked. It's still saying it's live. I'm trying to move everything. Why is this? Oh, because it's under here. AD, injustice exposed female nature when Wonder Woman was following Superman after he had turned evil. Yeah. And injustice, yeah. And Elijah, this is what I tell my girl, man. This is what I tell my girl. See, I'm gonna read your comment in a second, Mo. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, but especially, you know, for the guys I just mentioned. I told my girl the same scenario I told, you know, a live stream. You know, I said, you know, you can literally just read. You can sit there and read a comic book, right? You can open a comic book and read it. You could read how Superman flies around the Earth in like 3 seconds. You could read how Green Lantern can make any object out of anything, out of light, and fight you with it. You could read how Wonder Woman could deflect bullets with her wrist and be bulletproof, but she can't really fly, but she's almost good as... You could read all this crazy shit, right? And how they beat, you know, whatever bad guy. And then if you flip that next page and you see Wonder Woman curled up under Jimmy Olsen with his hands behind his head, you'd be like, wait a minute, that's some bullshit. That ain't nothing right about that. After you just got done reading about a man who could fly around the earth with no external help, with just him. You see what I'm saying? That's real. That's real. That's real. You can't make that up, man. But no, the video's gone, Mario. Well, they're not gone. They're not gone. I tell you what I could probably do, since my YouTube is still up. Since my YouTube is still up, I could probably find them. As long as they don't shut down my YouTube, the YouTube, this channel. It's still in there, so I could probably find, I'm sure, unless the YouTube deleted those, I could find them. Oh, yeah, so that's the same answer for Snidefeather half hour ago. He said, is there any chance to get all those videos back? Those videos originated from YouTube, so as long as the YouTube channel is not taken down, which that's what I'm live streaming from now, they're still in YouTube. So I'll definitely be able to, you know, as long as YouTube's still here. Hang on, I'm like on another page right now. As long as YouTube's still here, I still have access to them. But they're just on YouTube. That's just my whole mental thing. So you are right. There is money in women. Telling the truth is going to disturb that. Yeah, Mo, I agree. Yeah. There's more, because here's the thing. Women can do some of the most morally humiliating acts known to mankind, right? They can get shit on by a donkey. They can puke on hey, I love facial abuse, but look at facial abuse. They can do that. Nobody ever falsed a woman. No one ever. Okay, here's a perfect example, right? Of how no one falsed a woman. I remember I had found this video on Facebook, right? I found this video on Facebook about this guy. I think it was in Ireland, because I'm in his Ireland Facebook group. It was this guy in Ireland. He comes in, and his stepson, who's like 18, 19, is home, right? And the mom's not there. And the stepson's recording the guy. And the whole video, the guy is like, asks, like, well, where's your mom at? What's going on? And the stepson's just jumping on him, like being ridiculous, right? So from all the footage that any logical human can see that's going on, like at the moment, the son's jumping on him. There's nothing like incriminating against the grown man in that scenario, right? Right? And I told my girl, I said, and I paused, I said, watch. At the end of this video, they gon' like they are not gonna try to help the man. If they're gonna try to help anybody, it's gonna be the woman, right? Because that's just how, especially in the Western world, that's how brains are programmed. Because keep in mind, I explained like in depth all this shit, right? The stepfather, we all, because okay, we know how woman's nature is. My girl knows how woman's nature is. She's only gonna want a guy who's, especially once she's got a 16-year-old kid, some shit like that. Usually she's gonna only want a guy who's higher than her. So let's just accept the reality. The stepfather was paying her rent, buying most of the food, all that shit, right? And then the stepkids, he's angry at the stepdad and all that shit. And I said, look, this is exactly why I tell men to never date single mothers. This is exactly why. I tell them, because as a man in the world, you do not have the benefit of questioning, the opposition when you're a man. Here's the big part to this. As a man, you have no entitlement to facing the judgment of others to question your opposition. We just don't get that. We don't get that. Right? And again, I'm not mad about it. I accept, I know what it is. And this is why I tell you guys not to be mad about it. Just if you can, just get the fuck up, just bounce. You better off just not talking, just leave. Some shit like that. You better off doing that. And of course, at the end of the video, it was some white bitch on there at the end talking about some, hey, if you know a woman who's in need of shelter, please call, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, and at that point, I broke it down to my girl. I said, look. And the same thing I tell you, because she watches these videos. And we sat in the kitchen, we talked about, because she knows all the girls who watch my live streams, who watch my videos. She knows about all of them, right? And I say the same thing all the time. Okay, because there was another video I did about a teenage guy who he punched his stepdad, knocked him out in the kitchen, right? Now, and again, I always have to break this shit down to make it make sense to motherfuckers who will easily overthink it or just not even think about these scenarios at all, right? And this is gonna hurt. But even to some of y'all out there who have stepfathers, really think about this shit, right? For some of y'all out there who have stepfathers who were like the evil stepdad and all that, really put more, and this is gonna hurt. I know it's gonna hurt, but really think about this. If that man was so evil, why is the mom sucking his dick and swallowing his nut? Why did the mom move her child in with this man who is so evil? And this man so evil and so terrible, why is the mom choosing to stay there with him? See, these are the questions that I wish the world would ask, but they won't, because there's more money in letting women believe that they know what the fuck they're talking about, know what the fuck they're doing. If this evil stepfather was so terrible, he's abusive, he's blah, 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 he's a dictator. If this stepfather, right, is so fucking terrible, and your mother is such a fucking angel, why the fuck is she swallowing this evil man's nut every other fucking night? Why did she move her own offspring into his house where he can now be evil to you? Why would she do that? Oh, let me guess. She was being manipulated. Let me guess. She was being manipulated. Yeah. The new Jada Pinkett excuse. Her parents put her into it and she cried the whole time. And she did it because there was no other way out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why she did it. Get the fuck out of here. We all know why she did it. Because she fell in love with this fucking cock and she didn't give a fuck about anything else. Okay. Now, that's a whole other area that we talked about, too. Because there are a decent amount of people who watch my channel who grew up in this scenario with the mom and the stepdad, right? So the reality of what happens a lot of time with the step parent situation is this. The mother knows that she fucked up with the boy, right? And for those of you who grew up with a single mother, this is gonna be hard for you to understand. It's gonna be hard for you. And I don't blame you for clicking off, because okay, at first glance, this is a low blow. At first glance, this is going to be a low blow because this is mommy. And I don't know your mommy, but you know your mommy. So this is going to be a low blow, okay? So I accept it if you just, ignore me from here on out. I totally get it. I am not going to hold that against you at all, right? I'm not going to hold that against you. But the reality is, okay, again, believe it or not, there's a decent amount of women who watch my channel and ask me for advice, right? Who grew up in, single mother households for one reason or another, blah, 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 or with mother and father, but they see their female friends. There's a decent amount. More than you would think, right? So, the woman, this is usually the path of a single mother, right? Whether if the father died or the father was a player, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be the same outcome, usually. A lot of times. I don't say usually. I'd say more times than not. It's gonna be the same outcome. When the boy is a baby, she's gonna spoil him. Here, baby, here you go. Here's this, here's that. Because he's cute. Because he's a small baby, and it's cute for the baby to not be able to protect himself. It's cute to not be able to get up and do. It's cute. It's cute. But guess what? When a woman says she wants a baby, that's exactly what she wants. She doesn't want a grown man. She wants a baby. So when that baby starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, here's the part that mommy doesn't tell you. Mommy is looking at you and say, mommy is looking at her boy growing into a man and is going, oh my God, this fucking boy is pathetic. He doesn't know how to do it. He's a fucking idiot. But she can't help her side to go, oh, here you go, baby, to make sure everybody still likes her, right? So by the time the boy starts hitting teenage years, it's clear that she's, okay, at this point, anybody who's ever tried to talk her out of it and she fought him off, now all that's starting to make sense in her head. So now she's looking at it and go, oh, I really fucked up with whoever the fuck, Aaron. I really fucked up with Aaron. Oh God. Now I gotta go get a man to come fix this motherfucker. Because again, bitches, they're stupid. They think everything can be fixed in 5 seconds because somebody's gonna want pussy out of them. So they're gonna go find some man again, give him pussy. The hope is gonna come in and fix it, right? Which doesn't work. Okay. It just doesn't work. But this is the reality. This is what happens. So then the guy comes in. And, well, like the video I made a long time ago, it was on Patreon where the kid punched stepdad in the face, right? There is so much confusion in that dynamic alone. Because the stepson, he's a child, right? So he doesn't get the whole, okay, so what happens is this. Here's the core of what happens on that dynamic. The mother sees her own growing teenager boy at home and goes, oh my God, I fucked up. She's running the chat rooms, she's running the forums, she's running her friends, she's running the family, asking, how do I get him to get out the bed and do anything else other than play video games all day or whatever the fuck? How do I get him to do this? How do I get him to that? But here's the thing. The son doesn't see that. The son doesn't hear any of that. He doesn't know any of this exists. He doesn't know, right? Doesn't know any of this. So the next step is the woman, after asking people on Quora or Reddit or wherever the fuck she goes, and if she goes to church and her church friends or wherever the fuck, after all that's gone down the drain, she goes, okay, it's clear. I'm finally ready to accept. I'm a woman and I cannot raise a boy into being a man because I'm a fucking idiot. I have to find a man to come do this job. And like dingbat bitches, they think it's going to be fixed in 5 minutes. So what does she do? She goes out and finds the first guy who has a decent job and has any bit of self-awareness of testosterone and aggression and gives him pussy and talks him into trying to help her son out, right? Because she thinks that this man's going to fix at least 12 years of fucked up mentality. She thinks that this man's gonna fix 12 years of culture in 5 minutes, right? And that's how you get the kid who punched the stepdad. Because okay, now by the time you get to that scenario, that video where the kid punched the stepdad, right? The reality is this, and go back and watch that video. The father's drunk, and the first words out the father's mouth is, "Your mother is tired of your shit." Now, think about that. The first words out of a drunk man's mouth who can barely stand up is, your mother is tired of your shit. Think. Put your thinking cap on. Where did that come from? But, okay, because I already know this is how it plays out every time, right? This is how it plays out. Most times, this is how it plays out. That drunken man's mentality, the first words out of his mouth was, your mother's tired of your shit. Because the mom went to him to try to get him to fix the boy, right? So, but the boy is still a child, mentally still a child. He still lives under mommy. He still eats mommy's food. He still lives in mommy's, wherever mommy goes. Mommy still has to come and say, it's okay, baby. He lives under mommy. So so the next deeper step of the dynamic is this. That boy who I'm talking about in that video, the teenage boy, he sees mommy being frustrated and mad, right? But he's so stupid, he thinks that he's the angel and it's the evil man who's coming to start the problem. So he's ready to now fight the stepdad. After his mom just sucked his dick last night. He's ready to go because the stepdad's evil and he must be tricking mommy. Because it can't be him because he's a child, right? And mommy cares for the child. So now, I forget what I named that video. But because me and my girl were talking about it, and I have to spell these things out because she has a lot of friends who are single mothers. And I said, look, I would never recommend any of my friends date any of your colleagues at work. Because all of them are, most of them are like that. Most of them are single mothers or women who are in relationships that are just destined to fail, right? And there is no way I would tell any guy no to go date any of them. Because these are the dynamics that men just, woman is in general an inconvenience, right? Then add anything on top of that, it's just worse. But, so the reality of the dynamic is this. The woman knows she fucked up, so the woman's angry. The woman's sad, angry, mad, depressed, whatever the fuck. Because she fucked up raising her son into being a man. So, but the son doesn't get all these conversations, so he's thinking that mommy's angry, sad, mad, depressed because his new man's in the house. And the new man knows what the mom's coming telling him, so the new man's mad at the boy. He's not mad, but he's trying to help the boy, but the boy's going to take it as him being mad, and it just blows out of fucking proportion, dude. And this is, again, this is why you never let a woman lead shit. Because when she's in the lead, everybody ends up confused. What do I say? All the time. They end up confused. Everybody ends up confused, frustrated, mad. Nobody knows where anything is. Where is it? I don't know, because woman's in charge. That's it. Okay, let's go back to that video I did on YouTube with the boy who punched the stepdad. He knocked the stepdad out. And the mother was sitting there recording it on her cell phone. She's sitting over there like this. Like, for real, okay, your son is getting ready to get into a physical altercation with a grown man, right? Whether he's inebriated or not. That motherfucker can go around the corner, go grab a gun, and come back and kill your son. You sit him there with a fucking cell phone, tells him. You can't make this shit. It's so unbelievable. You can't make this shit up. Okay, if that's your son, protect your offspring. Fucking period, dude. Protect your offspring. Hi, D. I ain't fixing nothing and stepdaddy. Yeah. God just described my teenage years, Anthony. Yo, Anthony, and here's the thing, Anthony, man. Again, okay. That whole explanation was not to make you feel bad about yourself or nothing like that. That's not my intentions, dude. My intention was to acknowledge the reality of the whole situation. And as men, we have to keep growing. Okay, because matter of fact, I told my dad about this conversation I had with my girl. Because, okay, here's another conversation we had about 2 nights ago, right? Because I told you guys I named it's a nickname for the baby now. His name Kratos. I call him Kratos, baby Kratos, right? So I showed her Kratos from God. And now my girl, she loves Kratos. She loves God of War, but she only loves like the movie segments. Cause I explain like, you know, how his skin became white like that and like why he's doing what he's doing and all this shit like that. So she grew to love him. So of course, you know, in the newer movie, she's got, you know, he's got this boy, he's got his son Atreus, who's, you know, who's Loki and the shit, and we're watching together, right? And there was, and I completely forgot about this scene, but there was a scene where Balder had come in, and Atreus was hyped on this whole, yeah, we're gods. So Atreus paralyzed Kratos and went to go try to fight Balder on his own. And of course he got his ass whooped because, you know, Atreus is a fucking kid. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. So I had to explain to my girl. I said, look, and I had to I broke this shit down, and I paused it in every scene. I said, see, look. You trying to raise a little boy, talking to her like that, it ain't gonna work. Because see, for a boy to become a man, you see how Kratos is talking to Atreus when they be off in them offset. He's like, no, boy. Like, just because we're gods don't mean we can just kill everybody. You gotta think, motherfucker. Just because we're gods don't mean we run. Just because we run shit don't mean we could just take advantage of everybody. Think. We have to be better than the gods. Think, Atreus. Think. Right? He was doing that shit and all them side, and I would go back to I would rewind and show my girl all them side conversations with the boys. See, I said, look, for a boy to become a man, it's a much longer, much deeper, intricate route mentally. See, because men, ain't nobody waiting for us to come just try to fuck us. Like they waiting for bitches. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing it. So back to that Boulder fight. I said, so this is the reality, right? Kratos is trying to help his own son out to try to raise him along the path, but the son is you know, it's just natural. It's what we all. I've done it with my dad. You know, we think we're like, you know, grown men before we grown men, and we end up fucking everything up, type of shit. You know, and then we fuck around, come across a boulder, which is AKA the real world, and that real world ain't gonna care. That real world out there don't care. All right. They will hold your ass up in a chokehold. Well, look what Patreon just did to me. They don't give a fuck about my dick. Patreon don't give a fuck that I got a baby on the way and all this. Them motherfuckers don't care. Because they get more money in the end. They trying to cater to more of the bitches. That's why. Patreon don't give a fuck about my Patreon shut down. They shut my Patreon down. For those of you who just tuning in, they shut my Patreon down. Patreon don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about my life. They said, fuck your life. Fuck anybody you trying to help with this money, and fuck you. Fuck everything. Fuck you. And bounced. That's what it is to be a man, right? That's what it is. And Balder, whatever his name is, Balder was the fucking, he's the real world. See that? And see, after I got that point clear to her, I said, you know, this is exactly what I said. I said, so this, so now you see how hard it is for a man to become a man, right? Well, she really don't, but she just gonna say yeah. And so I said, so here's the path for what you gotta do to be woman. And you know what I did? As you watching, you already know where I'm going with this. I typed in X videos. And the front page was bitches bent over getting raw dick. I said, look, that's all you gotta do to be definite. That's the only requirement as a woman you have to meet to be deemed a woman. Just age and start fucking. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. See, a man, and because there was one scene where a bitch was like bent over and a dude was behind. Of course, you know, he behind her fucking her. I said, look, the path for her to become, you know, fuckable woman and the path for man to become fuckable man, those are two very different paths, dude. Very different paths. As a woman, you really only got to do shit. For real, just age and just keep living, and that's all. And somebody's gonna come around and give you some dick. Whereas a man, and no, for him to climb on top of that pussy, that's a whole nother realm of mentality. Whole nother. Kratos is raising his son into a man, a long hard. Yeah. The invincible meme. Think Mark. I can't. I was rambling so long, man. Now I've been drinking. I can't even keep track of that shit, man. My bad, Mo. Hold on, let me find. Hold on, let me go to my email real quick. Single versus married. Okay. Well, first, let me see if this is a big video. Well, it doesn't matter if they're big videos, because sometimes everything happens for a reason. So let's go to this.
In today's world.
Yeah, I can't see it. There's a dude who he remade Grand Theft Auto. Oh, y'all can't see what I'm doing. So this, well, he might monetize this shit. So I don't want to like fuck up. Oh shit, hang on, video. Wait, no, we're at window capture. Here we are. I thought I left it on to where it should just. Here we are. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is the first video of the night. Men have to become, women just have to be. Yeah, Adam, that's women just, all a woman has to do. See, these are the topics that motherfuckers don't like to talk about. Like, see, this is what Patreon don't want to come to me and talk about for real. You know what I'm saying? Because see, and so many of these studies have been carried out, legit studies that people like motherfuckers don't want to talk about this shit, right? They don't want to talk about it. For a woman to be deemed as woman, all she has to do is just exist. And just smile. That's it. That's all she has to do. Don't even gotta speak. That's all, and she is officially, woman at this point. Whereas man, the path you have to take as man to become well-rounded man is far deeper. It's far deeper. But so with that being said, when it comes to the real dynamic of it, man, like this is why it is ultimately why women end up losing far more in the long run in any situation, in any circumstance. This is why they lose immensely more in the long run, because they have no regulation to society. They have no understanding of reality, because their reality was built off of having life on easy mode, for sheerly just being like a human. Like, her life is essentially on easy mode. At that point, it's what does she feel like that is good enough for her to talk to at this point? And it's so unbelievably pathetic, where like women don't even register it like that. They don't even think about it like that. When they talk and think about it, like woman walks into the game sitting back going, well, is anybody gonna say something I don't like? You know what I'm saying? See, she's walking into the game like that. Whereas, see, men, we walked into the game of hoping somebody liked us. And if we grow out of that shit and grow above it, oh, well, then it's all good after that. But it's that initial part, dude. Like a lot of men just don't grow out of that initial part, because it's scary to grow out of that part. It's really scary to grow out of that part, for real. Oh, and just a quick heads up for anybody just tuned in, the Patreon got taken down. Patreon, they took my Patreon down for hate speech. But in the email, they made it clear that because I was receiving funding for my videos, that's why they took the video, they shut down my Patreon. It was the funding that did it. But yeah, we gonna play this video. Where we at? We play this video. I think I remember this girl on the right. I think she ended up going off and getting married. So let's play this.
Jasmine Show. YouTube.
Right. The whole spiel.
Instagram, y'all know the vibes.
Okay.
All right. We have topics, and we're just gonna
We're gonna breeze right through.
Yeah, we're gonna breeze through them.
We're basically just gonna talk about like my perspective being a married woman and her perspective being single. So we're just
On the same topics though.
Yep. Okay. So
So
first
it's gonna be
topic.
Okay, faking an orgasm. As a married person, do you fake an orgasm?
I mean, no, I can't. I can't
do it?
No.
So he knows when to be like,
He's like, did you come yet?
you're like,
No.
So it's not always
Straight up.
good. It's not always good when you're married.
Right. Well, like there's nights where it's kind of like rushed. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, but his goal is to get it. That's the goal. So he's like, his goal is to get it because he don't want to be unsatisfied. He don't want me to be.
My nigga Jay.
He don't want me to be unsatisfied. Okay.
As he shouldn't. That's a
Right.
husband's responsibility. Okay, so
What about you? Making orgasm
of
being
course,
single?
of course. So
When I was single, yes.
it's hit or miss.
Of course.
So-
you just want to hurry up and get the fucking shit over with. Like,
Oh. Okay, so like, do I prefer to fake an orgasm? No,
No,
wouldn't.
bro.
But it's like, you know, there's times when you're single, you know, you're not always necessarily committed to a person in even like romantically, like you're not tied to them. It's just that y'all could be cool and y'all
Right.
fucking.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say like, yeah, there's been instances where I faked an orgasm
But you
because
wanted
I
to be
slept
done
with
with it.
someone that I thought it would be better than it was and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I faked it. Got out of there.
Right.
Then there's been times where, you know, I have just like good sexual chemistry with the person, so I don't have to fake it.
Yeah.
That would be, if I'm single, since I'm single, that would be someone that I will continuously have sex with versus
Yeah.
somebody that is like,
Eh.
we can be cool, but you
Right, like when you feel like it's a job. Okay. When the sex is like a job, it's like,
ugh.
oh gosh.
All right, what's something that a lot of people are afraid of in marriages that you're not afraid of?
Like the full being my authentic self, being me, like no changing for nothing. Like some people feel like when they get married, it's like they have to do things differently or a different routine. I'm like, if you love somebody, that's why you got to get to know somebody or live with somebody before you marry them. I encourage that. People be like, no, I'm gonna live in separate apartments
Well,
and
that's how
then
they did it
marriage.
back in the day.
Like,
How you know you gotta live with your husband?
I
don't
feel
want to live with mine. You're like, that's
Well,
why
I
your bitch
feel
ass
like-
ain't married.
because
That's why I'm
you
saying.
start see when you live with somebody,
You
prior
start
to
really
getting-
seeing the shit.
who they are, just like with the whole COVID thing we were talking about. It's
Yep.
another subject, but like just in general.
Uh-huh. You
Like
start
I'm not
seeing-
afraid to be me. Just like when somebody was like, "Can you fart in front of your man?" If you can't, then why are you with him? If you can't wipe your husband's ass and you expect it to when he's 90 or 80, whatever the case may be, you.
I'm not even married. I'm not wiping
Like
my
that's what I'm not afraid
Unless
of.
he's sick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna have those moments where you're down and out, and some people aren't willing to pick up that slack. Like, you're afraid to do
It's
that.
like now when you love somebody, you wipe their
Yes,
ass,
you
do
know,
whatever.
right? Exactly. So I ain't afraid of shit. Okay.
So I guess for me, what I'm afraid of is just like never finding that match. You know, like the
Yeah, I know. I already know where this is going. Yeah. Yeah. That match. I already know where this is going. And see, this is okay, and this also goes back to what I said a long time ago, right? Where women inevitably always have, like, her woman's home is in misery. Her home is in misery and unsettling in some form every time. It's because very few women genuinely, truly get that number one guy when they were like 17 and hold on to him all those years and all. Very rarely does that happen. Very rare. Woman's home is not in pure fucking. Woman's home is in okay, because again, woman starts out life with completely front loaded, right? Completely front loaded, totally front loaded. So in this time period, she's riding a cock carousel like fucking crazy, and she's experiencing all these different guys. And okay, and these different guys would be great in like one specific area because that's the whole reason why they fucking with them, right? they're gonna be great in one specific area, much better than she'll ever be, right? So she's looking up to these different areas, and that I already know where that perfect match is headed. The perfect match is gonna be what I said. Was it last night? About she's gonna want Derek's car, John's cock, Todd's SUV, Randall's house, Tommy's job. She's gonna want all this in one. That's what it's gonna come down to. That's what it's gonna come down to. She's gonna want all that, and then once she holds on, and then when she officially makes it to this area, right, and she holds on to it for too long, this is usually the time period. Because my ex-wife, she said her mom she did the same shit. They'll usually go on they're usually at least 10 years of being a tramp, a whore, a hooker. Well, all women are hookers by the core terms of it. But they'll go through 10 years of no man ever being good enough. No. And every now and then after 10 years, some of them will fuck around, snap out of it, and be like, oh, I think I'll go ahead and deal with this guy now. Every now and then you'll find a few of them who'll say, fuck it, I just want somebody just to be with. They'll finally get off their high horse. But for the most of them, they're not going to get off their high horse. And like last night with the woman who's 67 years old, and she's still looking for a man who does this or does that, and I can't deal with a man who doesn't have a passport and all this, and there's a lot, yeah. And she looking how she just is what she is in the dating market, and she can't grow out of that shit. I already know this is it. That the match. Yeah, I know. And see, and again, it's worse. See, this woman right here on the left. Well, both of them for real, but especially the one on the left. The one on the right woke up at the last minute. You can tell she woke up and she at least got with somebody at some point. The one on the left, if I had to guess, just from my, RedPill analysis assumptions, she's the same thing as, because I did one of these girls' videos. I did this girl's video back, another one of these videos when I was in Ohio, and she interviewed this other girl. But it's the same theory, because she always interviews women who can't keep no man, but they still don't look like terribly ugly, right? These women are falling into the typical Jada Pinkett situation, right? Jada Pinkett hit a special situation that she got with Will Smith. Will Smith is Will fucking Smith, dude. He was so for those of you young guys, he was pretty much like the Ryan Reynolds, or probably better. He was better than Ryan Reynolds, in the 90s, right? so Jada Pinkett she found the unicorn relative at the time, the best unicorn she could find. But on overwhelming average, the typical Jada Pinketts are going to spend their lives out totally miserable. And she is no different from the other woman who I covered on this, what's this girl's name, the channel? Everything Happens for a Reason, her channel, because I covered another one of her friends. What's going to happen is this. See that girl on the left? She knows she's cute. And like I say all the time, see, when women and power don't mix well, that is a recipe for destruction, right? That is a total recipe for destruction. So since she knows she's cute, there's no reason for her to sit down with anybody. There's no reason for her to sit down as soon as something ain't going a little right and all this, because she has other options. Because she can still put on 5 pounds of makeup and get her eyebrows done and all that and look, 4, 5, 6, 7 years younger. She can still do that. So there's no reason for her to put effort into a relationship. There's no reason for her to try to be with people. There's no reason. There's none. No reason at all. No reason. So where does that leave her? That pushes her deeper into tramp territory and deeper into looking for a higher unicorn, a higher version of a previously made unicorn. Sorry, that's where it's going.
The timing being right, the connection being right, the what do you say? Not the chemistry.
Everything's gonna be right.
The connection, but not that. Just like the goals being alike. Like, two people can have bomb chemistry and have two different plans.
Me and Jay had different plans.
Okay.
But we grew to relate to the plans I've had in mind and what he had in mind, and we just learn to work through those plans. So not everyone's gonna have the same mindset, and if it is, it's kind of weird. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 'cause, you know, like
it's a little weird when they.
Well, I just mean like as far as like, you know, I don't want to meet some guy and I'm super in love with him, and then like he wants to retire to fucking Australia, and I'm staying in the United States. That's a real thing.
That is a real thing. A girl, one of my neighbors is like that. She's like, yo, my baby daddy's on point with everything. He look good, money right, everything. But then he wants to live this Kanye life, like just say, you know, build up all the money, then live in the hill in a hut somewhere.
Yeah, you know, some people want to live on the water, some people want to live.
Ain't that what I say isn't that what I say all the time? A lot of times when men build up their money and they get and they get out there and they get successful, men don't need that luxury life anymore. Once they get it, they get a good taste of it and they get tired of it, they don't need that shit anymore. And what did she just say? She said she knew a dude who wanted to go live in the mountains somewhere. Yeah, and this is why I say, because see, bitches need that shit. Bitches need that validation and that reassurance. Men don't need that. We do. I mean, once we get a good, the only time men need it is if the best case scenario is when men need it is if they grew up in that life. Then I'd be like, okay, I understand that. If he grew up like that, if he grew up in a certain lifestyle, then that is his home. So I can see that side of it. But even then, a lot of guys don't need it. A lot of guys just don't. It was more times than not, guys do it just to see if they can do it. And after they figure they can do it, they either get stuck with it or they just throw it away and go, you know, try to do something else again. But see, bitches, their entire lives are built off of the material things around. See, woman doesn't define herself. Everything around woman defines her. You see, and that's the big difference between men and women. See, as a man, we define ourselves, and then everything around us is just some side shit. Whereas with a woman, everything around her is her. And then within her is just some old, that she can just flip that whenever she wants, whatever, you know, was inside her type of thing. She can hide it. Let's rewind that back. What did she just talk about what she was talking about her friend? I say it all the time. I say it all the time, dude. All the time.
Australia, and I'm staying in the United States. That's a real thing.
That is a real thing. A girl, one of my neighbors is like that. She's like, yo, my baby daddy's on point with everything. He look good, money right, everything. But then he wants to live this Kanye life, like just say, you know, build up all the money, then live in the hill in a hut somewhere.
Yeah, you know, some people want to live on the water, some people want to live in the desert. Right. So that
is weird.
Because that's called character. That's something bitches don't have. Because bitches are so stupid. Because you're so stupid, because you don't have it. Your character is based off of whatever the man who's fucking you is, and then and in deeper level, woman's character is based off of whatever man's fucking her, and then on a deeper level, it's based off of what her friends think of the man who's fucking her. That is what woman's based off of. Period. That's what it is. Yo, thanks for the donation, man. Thanks a lot. RBT, AD, after you finish this, can you load up the other two links from this? Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I totally plan to do that, man. Yeah. I wasn't gonna leave him out. I still got the email open. Well, you can't see it, but I got it open under here.
So like that's my biggest fear though, just meeting the right person and then all the other circumstances be wrong. That's been like the story of my life.
But that shouldn't stop you from trying. You'll be alright. You'll find somebody.
I'm giving up. Alright, I found her.
You?
Yes. Okay.
I'm in love with myself.
I am in love with myself. And I am proud to say that.
Oh yeah, you should be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like
you a G.
Well, not even just that, but I just feel like, damn, bitch, like, yeah, I love myself. It took me time to be in love with myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've always had respect for myself, but to love myself, it took time. And you know what? I also think like, and I don't know if this is true or not, but like, because you have somebody who loves you unconditionally, that kind of helps you love yourself unconditionally. More, because you know, like, damn, I ain't that bad. Somebody loves me unconditionally. Right. Whereas with me, it's like, damn, don't nobody love me unconditionally? Well, fuck it, I'll do it.
Like, genuinely.
Like, not For real.
because you fine as hell.
Yeah, but just because like
You are who you are.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like when you don't have somebody else who
Loves
already,
you.
it kind of creates
your head.
it makes you question it.
Yeah.
Like damn, what is it about me that isn't?
I know a lot of women like
lovable?
that. They're gorgeous. You know, their whole stability's fine.
Uh-huh.
But then they're like, I'm still single. Like I look good. I'm the part.
Yeah.
Why isn't nobody loving me the way I want to be married?
But
Let's listen to that shit again. Hold on.
me that isn't.
I know a lot of women like
lovable.
that. They're gorgeous. You know, their whole stability's fine.
Uh-huh.
But then they're like,
See, this is what I always say, man. See that shallow shit. See, women are far more shallow than men, dude. Women are 1,000 more times shallow than men, dude. Like, I look good. My situation stable. Okay, what my situation stable usually translates into is I got other men paying for my life. And so I like but I want to find one magical man to pay for my life. That's usually what that translates. More time, every now and then you got some girls who are educated but they still looking for that unicorn. But for the most part, that's usually what it means.
Like I'm still single. Like I look good. I'm the part.
Yeah.
Why isn't nobody loving me the way
Right.
I want to be married?
But I think you have to.
Shit, women go out here.
You just gotta be patient.
Yeah, it's no rush. There's no timeline. Don't let the timeline give you anxiety, because that's one thing a lot of women do. They be like, wait, I should have had a car here. I should have had this. I should have had.
Ain't nobody gonna stress me out. Ain't nobody gonna stress me out.
That much.
Fuck up my look.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
See,
know
that's why
wrinkles. No wrinkles.
I'm like, no. I would. You know what? This is nothing to do with anything. This is funny because I was talking to my mother the other day, and when I was talking to her, she was like talking about how, she gained weight in her relationship. Woo woo. And I was like, shit. I was like, see, that's why I'm staying single because. Look, I worked hard to get this physique.
But
I
it be
ain't
like
messing
that.
it up
It be like
for no
that.
love or no nigga.
It be like that.
For no man.
Me and Jay be in the gym fat too, just going in and out. I have my fat year,
Because
my
that
slim year,
relationship,
my fat year.
that relationship shit, it will make you put on weight. I'm not.
Did I pass those bags of salt and vinegar?
Yeah, you be kicking it, and then next thing you know, you eating ice
That's the
cream,
hot
cake.
dogs.
Listen, ain't no look. Dudes already know. I be like, no, I ain't eating right now. They be like, are you gonna eat? I be like, yep, when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make me fat, okay? Because don't nobody
Right.
want to see
Right.
the big fat girls on
But if they
the
love
Jasmine
you,
show.
they'll love you as you.
I don't want to see myself like that.
Right. No.
So it's like I'm not willing to.
Unhealthy.
If I got with a guy, he'd literally have to work out as much as I do.
True.
Otherwise, it would just be like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because
you want to make sure that he
habits
keeps his
rub
health
off
together.
on people
Right.
quicker than good
Fair
habits. What would be the deal breaker for your marriage? Something you couldn't move past, like, all right, we gotta get divorced.
Yeah. Damn.
And I'll say the deal breaker for what would make me be like, I can't marry you.
Okay, yeah, before you even think about getting married. Yeah, that's two different sides. So what I couldn't forgive in a marriage is, to be honest, like an infidelity, because in my perspective, I've been with Jay for like 13 years. So I already dealt with that before the marriage.
So y'all kind of made that commitment, like, look,
all right,
once
we
get married, ain't no more.
It's real, right? And I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but like, it took for me to step outside of our relationship, not marriage, for him to stop doing that shit. Mm-hmm. So that right there was like an
Everybody always got an excuse for their cheating. Oh, he cheated because he wasn't shit, but I cheated because he wasn't shit. Okay. All right.
Well, for me, it was like,
your reason.
yeah, I was telling him I didn't want to do it because, like, I'm telling the God I'm sure I didn't want to do it because it was just kind of like, all right, man.
So how did he find out?
Look, there's a topic for that.
Okay, look, that is complete and total fucking bullshit. She's fucking lying her fucking ass off. Okay, she's lying her fucking ass off. But that is how you keep a woman interested and keep her around and all that. But she's lying her fucking ass off, right? Completely lying her. You mean to tell me she got her pussy wet for a dude that she didn't even want to go fuck for real and all that? You mean let me tell you something. Again, I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. I put that in a video from the live stream last night. I put up this morning about women. All women hate being uncomfortable. So if it's something that she really don't like to do like that, her brain will take over and walk her out the room. She is lying her fucking ass off because she knows. Look. I gotta break it down to core shit, right? The core shit is this. And I say this all the time, when it comes to sex, women don't care about sex at all. When it comes to that, like alone with themselves and by themselves, they don't. If you really ask a woman, like, if you really try to break down seriously, what is it about sex that's important to you, she doesn't know. But I'll tell you what she knows. She knows it's important to men. And it's just a side, right? I remember I was talking to my dad, and I told him about that Al Bundy. We was talking about Al Bundy, and there was an episode of Married with Children where his dentist had got a phone call from his ex-wife, and he goes, "Oh, wait, you mean my ex-wife took my baseball cards? Well, she doesn't even like baseball. Why'd she take them? Oh, because she knows I like them. That's why she took them." You see, like, it's the same thing with sex. When it comes to sex, women don't care about sex. Okay, they don't care if you fuck a dog, fuck a donkey, that individual woman doesn't care. Now, she cares because she figures other women care, but that woman doesn't care who or what you. If anything, she's mad because you didn't fuck her, but she doesn't care about, anything. Okay, here's the part where that's real hard for men to understand. Is anything above the childish jealousy of her being mad just because you didn't fuck her, right? Anything past anything past that is male morals. That's your morals kicking in, and you assuming that she feels that shit. She doesn't feel any of that. Okay, she doesn't feel any of those emotions and aggression you feel about sex. That woman has none of that in anywhere near the same aspect that you do. None of it. The only reason she's pretending is because it's what women do. Women don't have their own character in life. They don't have their own personalities. They don't have their own sets of morals. Women do not create morals, laws, or reasonings. Women's morals, laws, and reasonings are based off whatever they think men's morals, laws, and reasonings are based off of, and they'll imitate it all the way up until they figure that you'll believe them now. Okay, they don't know. Okay, with this whole cheating shit like that. Look. If you were in my line of work and you talk to women like I do, you would know. But it's hard for me it's hard for me to convince you, dude. But look, when it comes to sex, women don't. Women are they are children, dude. They don't care. They're only saying they care because they figure it'll get a response out of you for caring, and you'll be like, "Oh, maybe I should care now," and all this goof. Maybe I should walk the higher road now. She doesn't care, dude. She doesn't. Okay, like the only reason she cares is nothing more than that childish rage of you got a piece of chicken and I didn't. Anything above that is completely out of her thought process. All right. In a woman's mind, anything outside of, well, you got the flashy balloon sticker on your report card, I didn't get it on mine, and now they mad. See, that is what woman is. They don't grow out of that shit, dude. They don't grow out of it. Now they might get more or less violent as it goes on in that, but that's essentially where they stop with that. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Javi? Oh yeah, real quick for anybody tuning in, the Patreon got shut down. They turned me down. They turned me down. They said it was hate speech. They said it was hate speech, but they went on in an email and said it was because I was getting funding from my channel, which is why YouTube is still up, but Patreon's turned down because I was receiving funding for it. So Patreon turned me down. So that's why. So Patreon's not working. That's why, because it turned me down. They shut off Patreon. So I'm going to start a Subscribe Star. Actually, our RBT Rear Breathe Theory, he turned me on to that. I'm gonna start a Subscribe Star. Here's the thing. I have a Subscribe Star account. From when I was in Ukraine. I made it when I was in Ukraine, and I just completely forgot about it. And after our Rare Breed Theory reminded me, I went on there and found it and said, I still actually have it. It's still under AustriaDick and all that shit. I just never used it. So I'm gonna switch to Subscribe Star soon. So what I'm gonna try to do is so if you were subscribed on Patreon, look for a prorated refund. Step one, look for a prorated refund back to your account from Patreon. Number one, because the motherfuckers sure will try to run away with with some unearned money on their part. You don't put it past them motherfuckers. Step one, and I'd say and I got another YouTube channel. What's it called? What's my YouTube channel? It's called ADTV. Just look up ADTV. That's the gaming channel, and I just found out my password to the travels and food. So I'm gonna start doing that too. I'm gonna start doing that again. But yeah, no, but the Patreon's gone, man. Patreon's out of here. They shut it down. But all the videos originate on YouTube, so as far as I know, the YouTube's still up. So if it's still up, I'm just gonna put all these videos on. I'm gonna try to download as many as I can and put them on Subscribe Star. Oh, Chris said, "Hey, I saw your post on Patreon. That's crazy. Are you going to appeal it?" Yeah. Well, I sent an email back. Let me see if they wrote back. Where's my phone? See if they wrote back. Which they probably haven't. No, they ain't right back. Yeah, they ain't right back. So, hey, I'll take it as life, man. That's life. One way or another, the shit would have happened anyway, so fuck it. Just take it as it comes and move on. Because here's the thing, because I was talking, okay, this is another side rant about it. How do you write the ADTV channel? ADTV, hang on, let me exit out. Wait. We should be, hang on. Oh wait, this is my RedPill travels and food. I'm gonna start uploading to that more. I also had an AustriaDick, like literally spelled AustriaDick channel, and I never uploaded to that. Cause I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Hang on, fuck. Let's see. Oh, it's ADTV Gaming and Life. That's what it is. ADTV. So I just put the gaming stuff on there real quick. Well, I was working on it was weird how that worked out, man. Like this morning I was trying to put the gaming out because I was trying to put the gaming segments on ADTV Gaming and Life, and then like when we got home, when me and my girl got back here, I opened up my emails and that's where I seen that they had shut down Patreon. But I was working on this morning with the video editing and shit. So yeah, it's called ADTV Gaming and Life, and that's it. So let me see your channel. And it's just the games. It's just the game stream on there because I was playing I played Flight Simulator earlier this morning, and I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna put that on there too. I was in France playing that. I was playing that and flying over France doing that, and because it was storming this morning in France. And the RedPill travels and food, and who knows how long this is gonna stay up. But yeah, I'm gonna start a Subscribe Star probably. What I have a Subscribe Star now. Let me see what my Subscribe Star. Let me see what the actual name of my Subscribe Star is. Hang on. I had it somewhere because I have the profile there. It's nothing on there because I just left it when I was in Kiev. I took a picture. Yeah, it should. It's Austria underscore D, but it's nothing there. So I'm gonna start uploading shit there soon. But it's open. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out subscribe. So and I have another Patreon I started. Oh, you found it? Yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, so it's the subscribe star. Hold on, let me go to cause I can never sign in the chat. I can never type in. I can never sign in the chat on this fucking Streamlabs OBS shit. Okay, and so I think I can type now. Okay, yeah. Oh, so I'm logged into 80. So yeah. So that's me, 80 TV gaming and life. I just wrote, this is me. I'm gonna write, this is really me after this. So yeah, I just put it in the chat. Here it is. Okay. Yeah, because Patreon shut down. So just in case it shuts down, that's when that's where I'm gonna go to, you know, in case this shit breaks down, or another one. I got like 2 or 3 other channels, man. It won't be. It's not gonna be too hard to find. And if you in my Discord, man, and I definitely find you definitely. I just gotta go back in it. I'm just awful with this shit, man. I'm fucking terrible with this fucking social media. I'm terrible with the social media shit, man. I'm awful with it because there's just so many different paths and shit to go. But what the good part about the social media is that, or the good part about the technology now is that if they shut you down on one platform, you just go to another one. So you can always figure out like a way around it, kind of thing. Unless you like EDP 445, like he fucked up too bad to where he just went that he's gonna have a hard time with that, trying to get that shit back. But as long as you don't do something like that, like, and they shut you down, like, you can always just get the fuck back up and just open something else up again. So yeah, I gotta pee again. Let me. I gotta pee again, man. So give me. Are you on Odyssey? I have no idea what Odyssey is, Bob. I have no idea what it is. Remember, babies come from down there, and ain't nobody or few people are carrying a newborn down there. Word up. Yeah, but yeah, Bobby, I have no idea what Odyssey is, man. Elliot says 3 hours a week in the gym is working hard for them. They want high level man working 70 hours in the office. Yeah, Elliot. Yeah. That's, man. Again, I can't. EDP. Oh, he's on TikTok now. EDP's on TikTok. I didn't even know that. EDP's on TikTok. Well, he found a way back. See, and I was telling my girl too, like, that's the beauty, because she was kind of, you know, she's gonna be salty about the Patreon shit too, because she seen what I was doing to help motherfuckers out with it. So she's salty, you know, she's like, oh, when she heard that shit, you know, she was salty with me. But I was trying to tell her, like, look, like, and this is what I was thinking about, you know, what I was gonna say, I was gonna communicate it to motherfuckers, you know. See, it's times like this, like, don't get me wrong, it sucks, right? Because essentially what happened was, like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel shitty about it because essentially I was dumped from Patreon. Like, they initiated the rejection, right? I was dumped from Patreon. So, like, and no matter what position you're in life, I don't care if you go off and have a $10 billion an hour job, like, the fact that you were dumped, like, that somebody else initiated with you, like, you still gonna be a little down about it, right? So I'm not going to act like I'm not, like, at some level, I'm totally hurt at some level about it, right? But on the other extreme, well, I went to university for this shit. I am legitimately trained in this shit, and on top of that, I probably got more work hours in this shit than most motherfuckers who you'll go out and go find in the real world to go pay to do this shit, right? So at this point, was Patreon defining me, or was I defining Patreon within myself? And that's the deeper balance that that you got to remember. That's the deeper balance of who was really in charge of what. As long as I still have my knowledge and my willpower, well, I'll just go out there and figure it out again. It might not happen overnight, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out again overnight. Whereas like if I didn't have the knowledge of let's say if it had been a lottery ticket and a motherfucker had just stole my lottery ticket, well then that's it. I don't have any other, I have no way to get that shit back at all. It's a lottery ticket. It was purely off chance at that point. But this was built off of like having a skill and working with like the skill within myself, and then Patreon just kind of like ended up being there type of shit, right? So Patreon does not fucking lead me in any, like Patreon was a seasoning in my life. Like that's just what it is. And I had to explain I was explaining that in the kitchen. I was explaining that to her, to my girl, again, I am happier in my position than many other people who maybe face the same scenario or similar. That's crazy how the censorship is going rampant for free speech. It's out of pocket. Yeah. You think you can mirror YouTube channels there? You think you can mirror your YouTube channel there? In TikTok? I don't know. I don't know about TikTok. But an ADTV game and like I try to find a companion shit. Maybe I can like be a companion with myself and put the videos there. I don't know. I gotta look into that shit, man. I don't know. I really gotta look into it. I really do. I gotta look at because I'm not that good with this shit. Like I'm just not that good with this. Oh wait, so let me go. Hang on. Let me go find this Daily Mail. How do I X out this? Okay. Okay, so this video says, you can see that. This video says, it's either this or total solitude. Women who settled for partners who weren't the one reveal what it's really like to be in an unfulfilling relationship with a good person. Could you imagine, seriously, with this title, could you imagine if it was men who was talking like this? Men who settled for a partner who weren't the one reveal what it's really like to be in an unfulfilling relationship with a good person. Could you imagine, seriously, could you imagine the backlash if that had been like any of these articles or anything where women are talking? And this is for anybody watching who may ever watch any of my videos 10 years from now, who knows, right? Every time you see an article and it's women talking about this shit, replace the genders, like swap the genders, right? And if you feel an instance of shock or being appalled, you're not crazy. If you want to admit it or not, you're not crazy. It's the reality of it. Could you imagine a backlash if this title had said, men who settled for partners who weren't the one reveal what it's really like to be in an unfulfilling. Okay, and here's the part. See, for bitches, the hard part, the part that's going to really hit them hard is this part. What it's really like to be in an unfulfilling relationship. The unfulfilling, that's the part that women would just like implode on. That's the part. That's exactly where it would happen. So let's continue. Women who have admittedly settled for partners who weren't the one have opened up about what life is like in an unfulfilled relationship, but some insist they don't have any regrets. The thought-provoking responses were shared in a now viral Reddit thread after some username asked women who ended up with good people they are head over heels in love with to share how their relationships are going. The stories range from women who are getting divorced after years of unhappiness to those who are now fully in love with their partner and everything in between. So, the first person. Okay, whenever they post I'm not even gonna roast her. Okay, the first person, the first response is, it's sad and boring, but safe. You catch that? It's safe. It's safe. She feels pretty. It's just there's adequate protection, and she knows that the man's probably not good enough to go get a woman who's better than her. It hurts me to say it, but it's how women see it. Okay, especially when they get old and fucked up. It's sad and boring, but safe. I do miss the one sometimes, but we're just friends, and we could never be more than that. Translation: the one to her went off and got with a woman who's better than her, and he's keeping her on the side as side pussy. That's the translation. Okay. It's either this or total solitude, so at least I have a companion, sex, and someone who truly loves me. Someone who truly loves you. For real? Someone who truly loves me is the last item on your list. That's the last requirement. Did you catch how brutal that was from a woman? Someone who truly loves me, that's the last requirement. You see that? Think about that. You see that? You see that superficial shit that women try to claim men are? Women are far worse. Women are immensely worse. Immensely worse. It's either this or total solitude. So at least I have a companion. I got somebody who just exist. I have sex, and the last on the list is someone who truly loves me. Yeah, well, you boring, but you safe. You truly love me, okay, that's cool, but you boring, but you safe. Yeah. Of course, I would give my right arm to have my true love, but here we are. Yep. This is no secret, at least from my channel. Women are destined to be in this position. They're destined to be like this. They're destined to be there because their woman's value. Okay, and it's not just me speaking as a shallow man. It's me speaking from the perspective of a shallow woman. What makes her valuable in the dating market is extremely temporary. It's extremely temporary. So her destiny is to be. See, it's not like women age like bricks or like fucking, I don't know what the fuck gets, it's just the usual. It's not like women don't age. There has never been a period of time where if you walk down the street and say, you know what, women age like wine, women will start laughing at you, right? Because they know what that statement means. Women do not age gracefully. Very few. And even then, most of it, it's a matter of time. Okay. And again, of course, was a typo. Of course, I would give my right arm to have my true love. Her true love, and don't mistake that. Arctic Quip, whatever this is, whatever her name is, the definition of her true love means this. Her true love is the guy who is so much better than her, and all she can do is hope to get, for whatever reason. It depends on her and her dynamics, but that's what true love is to a woman, right? Same thing for guys. The true love to a guy is the woman who's better, who's for whatever reason better than him. It's the same thing. But women are worse with that. See, women can openly talk shit about the man who cares about them. Well, she's on Reddit, so she's got some fake name. But but on the flip side, men ain't at men. You don't find a lot of men doing this shit. So next, Heather B says, married for 5 years, together for 16. It isn't always easy. We're in a rough spot here, and it's easy after every issue to think, I knew I never should have stayed with him. Sometimes I wonder if I'm being a coward, but there are many times when the history of a companion who knows you so well is comforting. The model of marriage I grew up in was friendly housemates. Romantic love was not attainable. Crippling judgment from my mother also made me believe I was not lovable in that way. My husband adores me and is a good man, but does not fulfill me intellectually, is emotionally immature, and we are on different planets of sexual desires. It's a struggle, but it's not a nightmare. Dude, find me. Here's the thing: find any woman on earth. Okay, out of all women on earth, I would say at max 5% would truly, genuinely be happy with the man they end up with. True. And okay, because and like I said last night, if these women, we left at Heather B, so let's scroll up. Okay, for these women who are so amazing, right? Oh wait, I didn't mean to minimize it. Did y'all get that? Yeah, okay. For these women who are so amazing, and they settled. These women are so amazing, right? These women are so amazing. These women are so amazing, and they're so great. They're such a great catch. They're just, oh my God, they're just so amazing, right? These women who are just amazing creatures. They're just so loving and pretty and all this, and they have good sex and all this. Why did they have to settle for a partner who they knew they didn't want? Is that hate speech, YouTube? That sounds like hate speech because it's triggering actual thought on the situation. That must be hate speech. That's hate speech. Maybe just this. Maybe the woman was always was the thing that was being settled for by the men who was better than her. Did you think about that? Maybe the woman was the object to be settled for, and the men kept passing her up to go find another fucking woman who was better than her. Why don't we bring that into the conversation? Go, because if it was I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, women would say that all day long. Well, she found a man who's better than you, who can hold it down and all that. They would go off the charts on that shit. If this title had been, if the genders had been reversed in this title, women would have come out the woodwork with that argument. Easily would have come out the woodwork for that argument. Easily. Fucking easily. It wouldn't even mean let me catch up on these comments. I agree, Anthony. I can't really see the point of marriage these days. Yeah. Unless the only point I see in marriage now anymore at all is for legal reasons. Like, for example, you move to another country and you want to stay there. Getting married is going to be your easiest way to stay in there. That's going to be your easiest way to stay in. If you were to leave any country and go to any other country, marriage, see that's you got to make a family there. So of course, if you have a baby there, like with our situation, we can already have a baby. So like, as long as everything works out good, as long as you make that family bond, like you're good to stay like most places on earth, they're not going to kick you out once they know, okay, you have that family bond, that family tie here. But if you just going to work in Australia on a work visa, them motherfuckers will kick your ass out as soon as that work visa is over with. All right. Yeah, but if you fuck around and marry an Australian bitch, when you have a kid with an Australian bitch, well now you can always walk your motherfucking ass up in there and get a job and do whatever the fuck you want to do after that. You got to fill some paperwork out, but it's that family bond. But that's about the only reason why I can, legal reasons. Because marriage was always made for the woman. It was never, marriage was the only reason marriage, I say, would ever be made in any sense is to make sure history books knew that man's lineage. That's about it. Any other reason? There's no real reason. No. See, yeah. Mario says, yeah, the double standard blows your mind when you see it. Yeah. Elliot says, misogyny, better than him. I thought men only date down. You mean personality wise? I mean, yeah, well, yeah, men date down, yeah, for sure. Men totally, men essentially, okay, just based off a woman's nature, dude. It's like it's not to bash men, but it's based off a woman's nature. Woman always wants something higher. Now, I mean, for the most part, women, yeah, women are going to always date up. Now, she might get bored she might get bored and fuck with a guy who's like equal to her or a little lesser than her overall. But like, especially when it comes time for her to be seen with this motherfucker and shit like that, she is not trying to get with a motherfucker who's equal or lesser than her. Women's always going up. So then men, it's easier for men to just always go down. But personality, but yeah, it breaks, but it also breaks off because see, to one woman, you know, she might look up to money, where another woman may look up to just mental prowess, or another woman may look up to physical prowess, and the money and the mental can go, you know, play the back burner. It depends on that woman and what she sees. Like for the most part, most women are the same. Whereas you could pretty much deduce it down to 1 to 3 categories of what makes you better than a woman, to where she will actually look at you and be like, oh yeah, you're you know, you're good enough for my royal pussy type of shit. Like it's either going to be mental, physical, or financial. Once you're depending on the woman you're dealing with, like once you're at least above average in one of those and significantly above average in one of those, and like one of them could be like equal or lower, then that woman can say, oh yeah, I could use him. You see what I'm saying? That's when you make that cut. But if you're just like totally beneath her in mental, financial, and physical at that point, if you're just totally beneath her, she has no space for you. None at all. None. Once you're physically smaller, weaker than her, whatever the fuck, you're mentally dependent on her. You need her to do everything, and financially, you can't just buy your way out of a problem. There is no more need for you with that one. And every woman's battling a different life scenario. Every woman has a different situation. Every woman is totally different. I mean, not totally different, but every woman has like, I say slightly different scenarios, what she's looking for, and what she was born into, and how that plays into what she's looking for. You know, it can, you know, and then, okay, what she's born into, meaning, let's say if she's the only child, and her family was born into money. Okay, right off the bat, she's gonna want a man who can show her the lifestyle that her parents gave her, or better. Right off the bat. Most cases, you can be safe to guarantee that, right? But then now with that same woman, let's say she was born with an older or younger sister who was prettier than her, and the older or younger sister would always take the attention from these qualifiable men. Well, now that woman might say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go get what it, because her self-esteem got hit, and she might actually go get a man who's equal to her or like beneath her, because she feels like she can control him. See, when women go out and find a spouse, it is never for genuinely morally good reasons at the core. It's always some gold digging path of fucking finding protection. And that's hard, it's a brutal way to say it, but that's the reality, because it's just how they're wired. It's just what they are, man. It's just how they're wired. And again, for anybody who's tuning in, the Patreon's it got shut off. I can't even log into it. Let me try logging in now. The Patreon's gone. They deleted it. So I'm gonna start a Subscribe Star either tomorrow. Well, I got a Subscribe Star now, but I'm gonna hang on. Let me try to log. Yeah, I can't even. I just made it. I made another Patreon. Let me try logging in to my original one. Yep, your account has been disabled. So here, let me show you. Let me switch it to me and show you on the live stream. I can't even log in. There it is. Well, you can see my reflection and halo in the back, but oh wait. Your account has been disabled. Yeah. I can't even log in to Patreon. Well, that's past the Patreon app. Let me see. That's the Patreon app. I can't even log into it. So Patreon's gone. That's life. 80. Back then wasn't polygamy. Oh, her true love doesn't exist. Let me switch it back. God didn't or forget to create him because he was too busy playing Call of Duty. But back wasn't polygamy accepted, having more than one wife. What's your opinion on that? Okay, my opinion on polygamy is this, man. And this is the core reality of women on Earth for real. The only but it breaks off into certain tiers, right? When it comes again, what I said earlier, women don't care. Bitches don't care who you fuck, when you fuck, why you fuck. As long as you have enough money to fucking give to her, right? As long as you have enough money to protect her. In most cases, as once you reach that higher echelon of money, your wife and your mistress will go play tennis together and know each other by first name. They'll be hanging out. They'll be friends. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to that polygamy shit, again, polygamy, the only reason why women have issues with it is because they know men have issues with it. Okay. And the women who have most of the issue, the women who are going to have the major issues with that shit is going to be the women who feel like one way or another they're going to lose that man's resources. That, like the man's just going to completely leave her. She panics and thinks the man's going to completely leave her and she'll lose all his resources. Those are usually the ones. Now, there are cases like Bill Gates' wife who left him, but at that point, you also got to remember, Bill Gates was with her for a while. So, and on top of that, Bill Gates didn't run with some idiots. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some idiots with a lot of money too. Don't think they just all smart. But that motherfucker wasn't running around with legit idiots. So I will compare Donald Trump to Bill Gates in this situation, right? Melania Trump is not leaving Donald Trump's side at all. Melania Trump is going to stay next to Donald Trump till death do him part. Because Melania knows that is not her lifestyle. That's not her money. That is his money. Now, even if they were to get divorced and she took every dime he had, she has no friends in that lifestyle because it's not her lifestyle. So what's going to happen? She's going to get the money, and at first she's going to live it up. She's going to buy some shit, and she's going to sit around and think, well, wait a minute. How do I actually, maintain my lifestyle? Because at this rate, I'm going to be broke, by a deadline. I'm going to be broke. And what'll happen, and then so she's going to go out, she's going to try to find some friends, and all those fake friends are going to swindle all the money out of her, and she's going to be fucked up at even a faster rate. So Melania, she's smart enough to see that. Whereas Bill Gates' wife, if I remember correctly, they've been together for a long time. So they done made all the same friends. You see what I'm saying? They didn't make... Look, Bill Gates' ex-wife had enough money in a purse she forgot about to live off of for years. You see what I'm saying? That's a whole different scenario. My grandfather had three wives, and they were all friendly on the surface. He never complained about being stressed out by a single one. Well, yeah. If you work it right, make that shit work, man. Polygamy was widespread because most men were killed in war, as people were always fighting back then. So if a man could afford it, no problem, as they needed more sons. Yeah. Well, I get that, Dark Rebel. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. Yeah. So let's continue with these comments on this article. So where we at? Okay. So Loopy Lady CA, married for 28 years. We've had our ups and downs, but to be honest, he was the one. I just didn't know it at the time. Okay, what that translates into, I thought I was too cute for him, but come to find out, when after some years, I figured out I wasn't gonna be cute forever. So he's the one. That's what that translates into. I thought I was too cute for him, but he excelled in all the areas that were much higher than me. So I fucked with him. And after the years happened to slide by, I realized I'm not cute anymore, so he's the one. That's what that translates to a lot of time. Eddie Murphy's was his long shot beats. Eddie Murphy's ex-wife went broke after the divorce. Yeah. Yeah, Eddie. Yeah, I'm not. I'm not surprised. Yeah, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife went broke after the divorce. Yeah, because like what? And that's why I said was it last night on last stream, dude. Look, you can hand anybody $20 million. You can go to court and work all through that shit, and you can hand anybody $30 million, 20 million, 50 million, 120 million, alimony. You can hand that to anybody, and you can give it to anybody. But how many people can maintain that lifestyle and keep it afloat? That's the hard part. And Melania, okay, bitches are dumb, but Melania ain't that dumb. She knows it. She's watched the other bitches who fallen before her with that. She's seen that. She ain't leaving out. But the Melania, she is not leaving out unless Donald just fucks up way too bad. She's too smart for that. Let's continue with this article. So Loopy Lady continues. Sometimes the one is an ideal based on youthful priorities, but with maturity, you realize some of those qualities aren't as important anymore. Well, yeah, she's telling herself. Yeah, she got older. Yeah. My husband is my best friend, but whether you marry the one or someone else, a good relationship requires hard work and give and take. We have been through many events together, and we grew closer as a result. We are a team. Yeah. Well, she told herself. Yeah, she got older while she was with him, and now he's the one. Yeah. Babaloo Monkey says, I sometimes wonder if people confuse the one with the infatuation stage of romance. My good husband now is good. He's a fine person, a strong provider. He makes me laugh. Sex is satisfying. We can talk to each other easily. It's just not in love that everyone says they want. Don't get me wrong. There is love, but the romance, Prince Charming, ride or die thing is not there. Because the ride or die scenario. More time, and I'll say again, more time, because I'm not going to say every single time, but more times than not, the ride or die scenario comes down to this. That only gets initiated once the woman fully realizes that the man can actively leave her and be totally happy without her. That's the only thing that initiates the woman's ride or die programming for that man, is once she knows that, okay, even if the man shows some emotional responses here and there and all and shit like that, deep down, the only thing that keeps women acting right when it comes to shit like this, that brings out any type of loyalty out of them, it's because life beat them down to that point for some reason, for whatever reason, right? And this reason, I'd say I'm willing to say every time, it's because that woman, deep down, she realized that man can and will get up and leave her and be truly happier without her because he doesn't care about her. That is the thing that initiates ride or die in that woman. That woman knows that that man has better options than her and that he can get up. Notice all these women who are talking about these men who they look back and they wish they had. Okay, none of these women are talking about nice guys who text them all the time, who was there, who just wanted nothing more but her love and all. It was always the man who got away. It was always the man who's not there anymore. It's always a man who was. See, that's what triggers the ride or die is, and you have to find it within yourself. Because every man's swagger is different, right? And so you got to figure out how it works for you. But however you have to get it across is that at the core, when you sit that woman down with across from a professional, and I get to talking to them and asking them, it's the same shit. Every time, it's the same shit. It's going to come down to, well, he can leave me for a prettier girl. He could find another. He could find another woman. He could find. That's the only thing that's gonna trigger that ride or die shit with him, dude. That's it. That's the only thing. That's it. Every now and then you got a unicorn who just likes you, but for everything else, there's MasterCard. All right, for everything else is a low chance. Okay, she has to. She has. Okay, I don't even know how to convince you, but it's the same story every time. The only thing that keeps a woman acting right is life. She has to figure out, like, she has to get knocked down a few steps. Angel says, most of my friends are blue pilled and sleep to the reality of women. It's sad, but some men only learn the hard way. Yeah. Yo, AD. Mo says, yo, AD, I explained to my friends that I don't believe in the one. They said, okay, yeah, who hurt you? Yeah, because that's just look, man, that's just a typical thing. Now, and the one can be like relative, I guess, to like how you really want to look at it, like how society. And I get like society wants the one to be like, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't deny there is, somebody on Earth who is just like blindly a match for you, like with no effort, none of that. That's going to exist. Okay, but the sheer number odds, okay, it's not going to be one person. Okay. And on top of that, I mean, it's just basic human nature. Everybody's history means something special to them. So, like, the fact that you went off, like, what I mean, motherfuckers who think that they found the one and it was just infatuation. There's so much that goes into that, dude. Like, yeah, but yeah, the typical response of who hurt you, that is just typical. That's a typical response of I'm too okay. What your friends are really saying is I'm too afraid to apply deeper thought on it. So I'm just gonna say what I think a woman I want to fuck would say. That's what it is. Some of these comments. Your friends are holding on to the hope of finding their dream girl that doesn't exist. Yeah. And here's the thing, Javi. Yeah. And I'll elaborate on that. See, once as a man, once you get to the point of accepting that, that's when you'll be the one to a woman. See, that's when you'll be, once you get over that part of expecting perfection in a woman, that's when that woman will find you as perfection. Because you're not gonna care about her anymore. You're not gonna care about that drive to be there. To be with you can be like I said, you would be happier without her because you've come to accept it. So see, that's how you become the okay. Because perfect example. If you go back to these women in these articles and you go find that man and you ask him about that woman, look, well, it's clear the man didn't stay with the woman. All right. So we already know what happened. The man did, because he went on and found something better for whatever, whether it was go fishing at a pond or fucking hookers in a brothel. He found something better than Bablu Monkey, Loopy Lady, Heather B, an archetype, however you say that, Arctic ship, however you say it. Yeah, it's clear what happened. And that's the path of you being the one for the woman. You see, and I think that's a big confusing part with men is that, that feeling that we get when we find like the one who's like, pretty, she smiles, she has long hair, she smells nice and all that, and that excitement we get, this is the confusion. See, that excitement in love, that excitement is only felt by one person in a relationship. That excitement. For, any longer than 10 minutes. I mean, you can have a good laugh, something like that. But, like, for it to last in a relationship, that only one person feels the majority of it. And trust me on this, you're much better when it's the woman who feels it than being the man who feels it. Because once you're the man who feels it, the woman's just going to that's a certainty. She's going to fucking abuse that shit. She's going to run into the fucking ground and abuse it. That's a certainty. But when a woman feels it, well, biology can now progress how it was meant to. Now you can have kids, you can have a family, you can have a woman who's there and then it will try to tend to the kids because she's scared she's going to lose you. See, that's when biology moves forward when women are insecure. Biology halts when men are insecure. That's just what it is. You know, when in terms of dating, that's just what it is. When men are insecure, biology, because when a man is insecure, woman goes, ugh, I want a man better and stronger. Whereas when a woman's insecure, well, now you can manage the woman and put her here and figure out shit and work with it. And now biology can now continue. Life can continue to grow now because you're the leader. You know, it can continue to grow, especially in a positive direction. You know, because now you can manage it. You can figure it out. You can work with it. But woman, oh, she ain't working with you insecure. Oh, she ain't spend too much time working on you. She gonna go find a man who's stronger than you. Okay, yeah, so these are others. Killer Willie. I'm getting tired, man. I gotta get off here because my throat's starting to hurt, man. I think it's my allergies with this shit, because I'm coughing and shit in the morning. So I'm gonna get off here in a minute. But yeah, so Killer Willie says, I was convinced the one was going to give me butterflies and be overwhelmed by my presence. When I met my current partner, none of those things were true. I kept questioning it being like something's wrong. I don't know if he's the one. We've been together for a while, and I'm glad I didn't listen to those shreds about doubt. Those shreds out doubt. It's 9:15. Okay. Butterflies are overrated. My partner shows up for me every day. We have built a really strong and solid foundation. He isn't overwhelmed by my presence, and turns out a good thing. And turns out it's a good thing. He pushes me to be a better person every day, and willing to push himself better too. He's completely changed my understanding of what love is and supposed to be. I never grew up with a good role model and took my understanding from love from mass media. Turns out that mass media love isn't real for a reason. Well, yeah. Coincidentally, the woman who actually found a fucking man and isn't completely trashing him, yeah, that's a coincidence. I'm incredibly happy with my partner, even now, even though there were times in the beginning where I really thought he wasn't the one. I'm not saying stick with people you aren't right for, but that definitions of love change as you get older and passion. Okay, yeah, and she's right, but see. The definitions of love change as you get older, and passionate flames sparking loves with no foundation don't last for a reason. Now, when men read that and when women read that, those are two totally different perspectives. And this is where, like, you'll lose a lot of guys in real life about this. And you have to talk, when in real life, you have to talk men down for about 20 to 30 minutes before you get them ready for this logic. You have to. Because like I told you, was it 2 weeks ago, I was talking to my girl, and I was telling her about how women use submissive sex as leverage. And she goes, yeah. And I said, and I was so shocked at her. I said, look, like, I told her, I said, I would have had to talk a man down for 20 minutes until I would have got him to the level in an average world to get him to understand that I'm not bad. This is just the reality. I'm not bashing women. This is the reality. And he goes, oh yeah, well, people don't talk about these things. But she immediately went, yeah, women use submissive sex as leverage. Yeah. She as soon as I said it, she goes, yeah. Like that. Right? So that was a side rant, but with the whole love, it changes as you get older. See, men would read that and women read that as two totally different beings, right? Two totally different beings. But here's the thing. Men are so strong in their belief systems, for whatever they get, and willing to fight over it, and women know it, and they know when they can manipulate and use it for their benefit, that women have learned how to manipulate on far deeper levels than men on average will ever learn. Okay, but when it comes to this topic of dating changes as you get older, blah, 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 okay, pay close attention. The only reason that dating changes for women as they get older is because because they cannot hold on to being a 21-year-old girl forever. That is the only, okay, that tied in with all women aren't just, all women can't be skinny and hot for whatever reason, okay? Those two are the only reasons why, well, yeah, see, that's the only time maturity comes into it, and morals and real world awakenings and shit. That's the only time that shit comes into play. That's the only time that comes into play. Only time. Is, again, once they start to lose as women. Once they can't be the best fuck meat that they can possibly be, that's when all these morals and things, well, you know what, I'm thinking about something else. That especially when they on their own, that's the only time that's gonna, if she knows she's pretty and cute, she ain't no time for that. C-Boy. Yo, what's up, C-Boy? A humble woman versus a woman who settled. Hey, yo, for those who tuned in, man, but the Patreon got shut down. They shut me down because they said I was getting funding for what I was talking about. They called it hate speech, but it was called. But in the email they elaborate. They said because you're receiving funding for this is why we had to shut down the channel. So it's because I was receiving money for it. So I'm gonna start a subscribe star soon, man. Well, I got another Patreon. I'm gonna start another Patreon and a subscribe star, and we're just gonna work with that. I'm gonna start probably tomorrow or probably by like Thursday or Friday or something like that. Elusive Man says AD female submission as a form of emotional dominance. Oh yeah, Elusive, y'all, yeah, totally, man. Yo, let me tell you something, because I'm gonna get off here because my throat's starting to hurt, man. I'm gonna get off. I can't stay on too much longer. My throat's hurting, man. The reason we got on that topic is because the friend of mine who was staying in my flat in Ohio, right? Knew that motherfucker for well over 10 years. And the whole time I knew him, he was very clean, very clean. He was the guy I told you who had the felonies and, all that shit all his whole life. The violent felonies on top of that. So he can't get a job, It's hard for him to find a job. He has violent felonies. But I've known him for well over 10 years, never did anything wrong to me. He was always, if anything, that motherfucker was clean, dude. Every time I go wherever he was living, if he ate anything, he immediately vacuumed the floor. That motherfucker was clean, right? And he stayed in my flat for when I was first living in Czech Republic. He stayed there. He actually lived in my flat longer than I lived there, with my dog. He stayed there longer than I ever lived there. But And when he first there, everything was cool. He always paid the rent on time. He paid the bills on time. No, let me take that back. There was maybe like 2 or 3 times where and something happened, which that's to be expected when you getting paid. When somebody has to pay you rent, that's to be expected. Something's gonna happen, at some point. But he paid all the rent. He paid the bills. He gave me updates on what was happening in the neighborhood. He was great until he got with this woman who was an ex-stripper. And he ended up getting a good job. He ended up working at a gym. And he worked his way up to the point where he pretty much runs all those gyms on the East Coast of the U.S. now, right? Because when I used to call him, we would video chat while I'd be walking somewhere in Prague, and he would be in like Pennsylvania or like Virginia or some other branch. He could get flown out there to go check on the branches of the gyms, and we would video chat while I'd be somewhere drinking a beer, eating pizza. We'd be video chatting type of shit, right? And just catching up because we was friends. We were friends, and he got with this woman who was an ex-stripper, who was just a piece of shit, right? And I remember, here's the thing. When I went back to the U.S., I remember the first time. He showed me a picture of her in his phone. He said, yeah, I found this girl. This is who I'm talking to. And she didn't look that bad. But I remember when I happened to walk into a bar that he was in with her. And I didn't know they would even be in there. And he was sitting there with this girl. And I'm like, so I was like, hey, what's up, man? He goes, oh, hey, yeah, this is the girl I showed you, in the picture. It was a catfish, dude, like total catfish. This woman, I don't want to give away too much information, but let's put it like this. The court system acknowledged that she's a piece of fucking shit, right? And that's bad. And she's a white girl too. A white woman who's a piece of fucking shit by the court system, you don't want to touch that. So when I was back in the States, I stayed in that flat, and then I came back to Czech Republic, and then he moved back in the flat while I was over here. And I would, every now and then he would call me, because he didn't move back like as soon as I came back to Czech Republic. He stayed in his own flat for like about maybe three or 4 months. And we would talk on the phone, and he would tell me how, yeah, she got him kicked out the apartment because she was throwing shit and all this and crazy and blah 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 blah, blah. And then he didn't have anywhere to live, so he asked me if he could come back to live in my place. So I let him come back, move to my place. And again, he always paid all the rent. But they trashed the place. Like, the place was trash. So like, oh well, it was on Patreon, but it's gone now. But I put a video on Patreon about it. They like, and again, I've known this guy over 10 years. He's never been the dirty type, never been the type to trash shit, never done any of that. And whenever I hear that girl's name that he's fucking with, I immediately know that trouble is not too far behind. And here's the thing. We talked about her, and he told me about how she is sexually. And, okay, see, these are topics that's hard to talk about on YouTube. Because, see, like, because YouTube always wants to, not you guys, but like YouTube, like in general, like whenever a man talks any real shit, it's automatically hate speech until fucking Kim Kardashian validates him or some shit like that. Okay, but this is just coming like directly from the situation, because and I know hers, and this is how she would talk. She wanted to be raped every morning. Like, she wanted him. She wanted him to beat her up like every morning. Because I knew her, because we hung out before, and I know her, dude. Like, she's fucking. So when I hear that girl's name, I immediately know that trouble is not too far behind. So now I know, don't even go anywhere. If that bitch is in Arkansas, don't go to Arkansas. Just go somewhere else. All right, because that's what she lives off of. And she wanted him to beat her up every morning. Not rape her, but she wanted him to beat her up every morning. Like, that's what got her off. Like, she wanted that struggle to fight and all that shit, right? And I told my girl, like, yeah, like she's using her submissiveness to stay with him. That's what and she goes, yeah. My girl just went, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you. Elusive Man says, oh wait, I gotta read Mr. Emoji's comment. That's one thing AD had taught me. Women don't love you. How can she love you if she can't even love the person she sees every day in the mirror? They hate themselves and hate that you love them. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Yeah. And that's, yeah. Because woman's major issue in this whole game is this. And it's and this does come back to a part of guilt of just humanity, right? The fact that society would just adore her because of what she is in the mirror, because she's and it will grow like a Twilight Zone episode. It will grow to a point of frustration. So when you love her, and she's done nothing to prove her love to you, right? If you loved, okay, think of any woman you loved any woman you have ever loved in your life, right? I'm thinking about myself, right? Any woman who you thought you loved in your life. Well, I already thought myself through these exercises, but I'm still putting myself through it as I'm speaking. Any woman that you ever thought you loved in your life as a fuck partner, as a sex partner, spouse type of shit, right? Really think to what that woman did to actually earn your love, other than existing as a cute woman. What did that woman actually do to earn your love? You see? Now, while you think of that woman is living, see, that feeling, when you really think about it, and you go, wait a minute, Like, well, she really didn't. I mean, well, she said hello when I came home. Some shit like that. But she really ain't do shit. She said hello. She got me some lemonade 2 times, but she really ain't do nothing. And see, you feel that slight sense of self-doubt into your whole reason for like finding her valuable, and you don't want to feel like you're the only one who got screwed out that deal type of shit. That woman is living with the guilt of that all the time. And it's frustrating for her. By the time she's comfortable in that woman is complete fucking trash. By the time she's comfortable with that, by the time she's grown to like, it's like, I say that's the equivalent of going on facial abuse. Like, don't get me wrong, I love facial abuse. I love their content. But by the time a bitch can go wake up in the morning and go, I guess I go do a scene of facial abuse, and puke on cocks and shit. Like, and then go walk off, go to the mall after that shit. By the time she can just bounce back that quick off of that, there's like a homeless motherfucker going to sleep in the middle of Times Square. Like, that motherfucker has been through some shit. If you can lay down in Times Square and just conk out with all your belongings, in arm's length, everything you own is arm's length, and you could just go to sleep like that. That motherfucker's been through some shit. But women, they hate themselves. A lot of them do. Most of them do. But because of that sheer logic. Because it's too easy. It's because it's too easy to get a man to fall in love with them for ridiculous reasons. Okay, when I say ridiculous reasons, literally just for what they look like, right? And nothing else. Nothing else. Just for what they look like, a man would do. Okay. Could you imagine just being a fucking, like, just being the physical embodiment of yourself, right? And a motherfucker just trying to come over there and trying to buy you a house and buy you a car and shit like that. Imagine how awkward that shit would be, right? And how you would like want like actual like human interaction. But then at some point you finally just get tired of it and just be like, okay, whatever, and move on. Or you talking to other dingbat motherfuckers who use the system, and now you just adopt their mentalities and shit. That's a shit path to go down, man. That's a shit path to go down. So again, man, I'm gonna leave y'all off with this, man. Yeah, the Patreon got taken down. They deleted it, so I'm gonna start a Subscribe Star or another Patreon. And if I don't, hold on, let me post it. Hang on. So here, oh fuck, where am I at? I'm gonna post. So again, I'm gonna write, "This is me." This is my other YouTube channel, so like it's like a backup. Right now, I just have like 5 videos with the game and stuff on it. But that's me. Like if y'all can just go over there and subscribe or whatever, they like or subscribe. I don't know what the fuck to do. But that's my channel, right? That's in case this one, and I'm gonna figure out a workaround at Patreon shit. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because I can't talk anymore. My throat's hurting, man. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch y'all later, man. Yo, thanks for tuning in, tipping, donating. It's still one video left, Rare Breed. If you still watching, man, my bad. I just can't keep going, man. I just can't keep talking. My throat's starting to hurt bad. So I'm gonna get off here, man. I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for tuning in, all that, and I'll see you tomorrow.